kind of the last question as we're kind of wrapping things up. Um, so, what are the unique challenges that COVID-19 has presented for people struggling with sexual sins?
Um, I've seen a couple trends. I think for single people, I think for single people, porn usage has increased. Um, Single people are getting laid off or furloughed, and they are um, tense, nervous, angry about that. So, and they have a lot more time on their hands, so they're probably hopping onto their porn sites more. Um, Also, just the inability to go out, especially for those who are extroverted, they're so frustrated by that. And again, if they dealt with their frustration as a kid by viewing porn or acting out, then chances are they're going to just keep on continuing that trend.
Mm,
For married people, I've seen it's a little bit different. I think for married people, because the spouse is home all the time and the kids are home all the time, there's probably a reduction in viewing porn. Um, but there's such a thing as cross addiction, where you substitute one addiction for another addiction.
mhm,
So maybe, their porn has decreased, but now they are drinking more.
mm,
Maybe they are gaming more. Maybe they are binge eating more.
mm,
Whatever it is that, or they're just mindlessly watching more and more Netflix shows, because they've never really learned how to deal with all of life's difficulties,
mm,
on its own terms. They don't
mhm.
know how to sit there in frustration. Kids definitely don't know how to sit there with boredom, right? I remember when I was a kid, um, like in the early 80s, um, gosh, it was boring because they didn't have on-demand, streaming or whatever. Like
Yeah.
if you missed your program, you missed your program. And this is even before VCRs. You can even so during the times where it was super hot and I just couldn't go out there and skateboard, and it was like General Hospital was on TV. I didn't want to watch that. I'm just sitting there like, oh my gosh, and like just bored. But I lived.
Yeah.
But today, if someone gets
Mm,
bored, like the world's gonna end. And
mhm,
so the internet goes down, oh my gosh, the world's gonna end. So people don't really know how to deal with life's uh, difficulties as is. They
mhm,
don't know how to share their difficulties with other people. They just kind of keep it isolated within their own hearts. So there's a lot of cross addictions. People just learn how to escape and numb through other things besides porn. But
mhm,
you know, um, the the tough work of long-term recovery is, again, not just the abstinence,
mhm,
but it's like, how do you deal with life in the most congruent way possible,
mm,
instead of resorting to escape and fantasy.
mm,
Now, do we all need a break sometimes? Sure. That's why we go to the movies. That's why we go play golf. That's why, we get a break from things. But
mhm,
people who binge on stuff, um, for the most part, they do it to numb. They
mm,
do it because they can't deal with life.
mhm,
And that's sad.
mm,
I'm not saying that as a judgment. I'm just saying that I feel sad because I just don't think that that's how we were meant to live. We weren't supposed to escape hardship or disappointment. Like, in this world, you will have trouble, but take heart, I've overcome the world, right?
mhm,
So
mm,
when he guarantees that we're going to have hardship, we shouldn't be surprised by it.
mhm,
We should be able to feel that hardship and kind of stand in solidarity and talk about it and support one another and kind of feel original sinness of life, you know,
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
flawedness of life. But
Yeah.
yeah, but we've learned way too young that those kind of things are not tolerable, and so we need to kind of, you know, uh, escape from those kind of things.
Yeah. No, I think that's, and our kids are watching us too, and
Oh, for sure.
how we deal with, you know, this new interesting season of life that
Yeah.
we're in. And yeah, I think that's a sobering reminder, you know, even for myself as a parent, of how I'm
Mm.
demonstrating to my kids of how we deal with disappointments and frustrations. Um, but yeah, yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, we definitely are in this for the long haul. I'm really viewing this kind of as the first step. This is the first time we've actually even openly talked about this as a church.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I know that it's going to be a long journey ahead. And I think we're going to probably make some mistakes on the way. But I just want to thank you so much for kind of breaking the ice for us and making yourself available, um,
Yeah, of
yeah,
course.
to this talk.